Hi, this is Elizabeth, one of the co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Your Life Matters podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Mariah White, and I am a passionate pediatric nurse practitioner and fired up health and happiness coach, here to deliver a message to you. This podcast is meant to provide a hope and a dream that fuels your soul to dream big and to dream bold and to inspire and empower you to live out your wildest freaking dreams and to grab a hold onto the unwavering truth that you were made for more. What's up, guys? Happy freaking Tuesday. I'm so grateful to be coming to you guys here in my home where I am safe and healthy. I just want to tell you thank you. Over the last several weeks, I think we're on week 15 of kind of this new way of life, this new world order, essentially, where we are faced with this pandemic. We're trying to make the best decisions. We're trying to, find balance and harmony in what we're doing. And you guys have just been such amazing listeners to this podcast. I was really fearful about, going into this and being so unsure about what the podcast would hold and where the future would be, because people aren't in their cars and they're not commuting and listeners are not going to be as engaged. And it's been quite the opposite. And I'm so grateful because during this time, more people have been able to hear what I say and say, dive in deeper to the personal development that you need, especially now, especially in this season, especially in this time. So I'm so grateful for you. If you are a new listener, welcome, and I am so grateful for you. One thing that I pride myself on is to not have a billion different ads and sponsors within my podcast, because I just like to listen to the content and know that it is something that I can take away. So I really pride myself in not being that crazy, like, let me talk about 50 million things in between one episode, because I really want you guys to come in and leave with the tangible things and the tools and the tips and the tricks to really learn and grow in your life. But that being said, that requires you guys to continue to share this podcast. Share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, share it on social media, tag me. Make sure you're leaving a rating. Make sure you're leaving a review. That's how podcasts work. So make sure, if you haven't yet already, take the extra, 30 to 45 to a minute of time where you can just leave a rating, leave a review. And I'm thinking about doing a review, rating, highlight, spotlight, shout out for all of my amazing listeners. So if you are like, yes, let's do it, I would love to see all of you guys just kind of share this, put ratings on, put reviews. And then in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to start speaking out to these amazing listeners and potentially even do a giveaway. Like, I think it's time that I start doing a giveaway and send you guys some free stuff, some sweet free swag that I love, and really get you guys in the mood of understanding that your life matters. And that way you can share it with so many other people in your life that potentially need it. So without further ado, I just wanted to dive in deep into today's episode. I wanted to come at you guys in this place of just, everything's opening up and everything's kind of, unspoken, uncertain, and we're all kind of in this place. And we've talked about that for the last several weeks of how to overcome this quarantine, how to come out of this quarantine thriving and not surviving, and what that really looks like in your life. But now I'm going to sit there, and regardless of quarantine or not, COVID or not, I want to come at you guys with one simple thing. You will fight for the things that matter. And I was listening to a podcast and it resonated so heavily with me, and I wanted to share it with you. It was by Ed Milet, but it also really tied in well with some of my team. My tribe is reading this book called The Year of Yes. It's such an amazing book. I loved it when I read it, and it's by Shonda Rhimes and the creator of Grey's Anatomy. We all know that. And she wrote about how for one entire year she said yes to scary, hard opportunities, scary, hard things that would come up in our life. And then I was listening to this podcast with Ed Milet, and I was like, yes, this is what I need to talk about. This is what I need to share. Because a lot of times people, especially in the midst of uncertainty, get fearful of what they're doing and fearful and back down from the things that they know they should do or the thing that they should try. And instead, they stop. And they just say, you know what? I'm at peace. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm okay. Right now, I'm finally just trying to catch a grip on stuff, which I want you to have harmony in your life. I want you to catch a grip. I want you to be at peace with everything going on. But what I don't want you to say, the things that matter, you fight for. It's simply like, remember when, if you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. You know, kids and like, or nieces, nephews, whatever, go to school, or you go to a football game, or you go to a baseball game. And there's all these kids around, but the one person you're focusing on is that specific kid, your baby. And you sit there and you pour into them that they're amazing. They can do everything that you could think that they can do. They can be whatever they want to be in this life. They can conquer their wildest dreams. They can be courageous and strong and smart and all of these things. Well, my friend, your kid, that kid, looks at you like that. And then they look at you like mommy and daddy and auntie and uncle can do anything in this life. They can be anything they want to be, right? They just look at you with this dying, unwavering, heroic figure of who you are in their life and what you mean to them. And then take it a step further. If you look at your son, daughter, niece, you say you can be anything that you want to be, and you look at that, genuinely that and believe wholeheartedly that they can. They look at you with the same heroism and beauty. What if they were to say, well, mommy, why aren't you doing what you want to do? Daddy, why aren't you being everything that you dreamed of being? That'd be a dagger to the chest, right? You would feel so like, oh my God. So guys, I'm asking you right now, why settle? Why not say yes? Why hold back? Even in the midst of hard or uncertain or everything going on and how strange it can all feel. But why are we stopping and standing still? Why are we not fighting for the things that matter? What used to matter to you was going after your dreams, going after that career, going after that job, going after that education, going after that business. And then all of a sudden, something happened. Either you failed one too many times and you got discouraged, or somebody told you that you couldn't do it, or you just learned how to bottle down and shove it way, 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 way down to where you just stopped believing it was possible. So what I'm going to say to you right now, and there's 3 things that I want you to take away from this, and 3 exercises that I want you to do. I want you to close your eyes when you get a moment, not right now. I want you to listen to what I'm saying. But after this podcast, before you go on to the next, or before you go about your day, or maybe you sit in the car for an extra 20 seconds, I want you to close your eyes and think of who you wanted to be when you were growing up. Did you say, I want to be an astronaut, or I want to be a veterinarian, or I want to be a doctor, or I just want to save the world, I want to cure cancer, whatever it was, and how mom and dad would always tell you, you can do and be anything you want. And maybe you didn't have the parents that told you that, but you had somebody in your life constantly reminding you that you could be anything you wanted in this life. And somebody who really believed in your dreams. And then you had these dreams of just wild aspirations of becoming anything or starting anything or doing anything. I want you to think back to that person. If I think back, I think to that 10-year-old Mariah. I think to the 16-year-old Mariah, right? I want you to think back on that. And then after you do that exercise of just taking a couple of seconds, minutes to just really reflect on who you wanted to be, I want you to look and I want you to find a piece of paper. It could be a sticky note. It could be your hand. It could be a piece of paper. It could be a notepad. It could be your kid's school book. I don't care. I want you to write down what your goals were then, what your dreams of being then. And it could be as simple as, when I was 10, I dreamed of being a veterinarian because I wanted to save animals and I wanted to help them and I wanted to do this. And my mom and my dad always told me that I was capable and I was able. Or you could say, whatever the case is, right? Like write it down what you wanted to be when you were young. And then I want you to look to the next side of the paper, and I want you to write down where you are, who you are, what you accomplished, how far you've come. And I want you to sit there and look at both sides, who you wanted to be when you were 10, 15, whatever, and who you are today. And I want you to figure out, what was the misalignment? Where did you not miss the mark, but where did you go different? What deviated you from the 10-year-old self who wanted to be a veterinarian? Did you figure out that you love animals so much that you could never do what vets do? Or did you just say it's too hard, or school's too hard, or whatever the case is? What is it that shied you away from that of which who you were at that age? And then I want you to look and say, how can I get back to, not that I want you to be this world self, but how can I get to dream that way? How can I get back to believing I could achieve something so great? And I want you to think about, if you have, what do your kids see in you? See a mom and a dad who are living out their dreams, going after their goals, constantly grow. Do they see you reading books? Do they see you doing your personal development? Even know name podcast. Like, my bonus daughter, Alicia, like, she knows I'm recording a podcast episode. She sees my podcast mic. She knows it's there. She knows that I use it. She knows when I'm doing it, it means silent, don't talk, even though they're kids and they're going to bother me anyway. Like, she knows what a podcast is. She knows that if I'm walking around the house in my AirPods, that I'm probably listening to an audible book, or I'm listening to a podcast. And she'll sometimes even ask, well, what podcast are you listening to? Are you listening to the pink one? Are you listening to the blue one? Are you listening to that one with the guy? Like, she knows all of these things. Do your kids know to grow yourself? And then I want you to ask yourself, would they be proud of you? Would you be proud of you at their age? Or would you sit back and say, man, Mariah, you had all these dreams of becoming all these things, and you had all these aspirations, and you let life happen. You let hard happen. You let people happen. You let what people believe happen. And then I'm going to ask you, is it really worth you living your life for them? Is it really worth you living your life for them and being this unhappy, this stuck, this feeling of like, why in the world am I in this place, and why am I not living my best life? Why did I let all of those people who told me I couldn't stop me? Are you in that place? And then maybe on the other side of it, where you're, oh, I got this. I'm going after my kids. I'm with my kids can do. I'm going after my goals. I'm really living, doing my best. I applaud you. But I'm going to ask you, do you have an inner why did you push you a season? Now, this is one thing a lot of people don't want to talk about. Everyone goes through hard. Everyone. Nobody's life is perfect. You might have a perfect marriage, perfect kids, perfect whatever, but there is going to be a season of hard. You might handle it different, but there is going to be a season of hard. And I'm asking you, when that really hard season comes, will you be able to continue to have that same fight, drive, tenacity, and passion in going after who you are meant to be and your goals as you are today, even in the midst of hard? Now I'm asking you, what are you willing to fight for? What are you willing to go through? What are you willing to grow through? I sit back and I just shared on my social media platform at Dr. Fit White on Instagram and Mariah White on Facebook, and I was sharing that. I was in this place of just hard with the girls. Like, I was just so angry and unhappy for 2 days, and I just couldn't get out of it. I couldn't get out of that funk no matter how much I worked out, no matter how many PD things I read. And I just was like, Mariah, wait, take a second, feel what it is you're feeling. And a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but I had to mourn being me. I had to mourn being Mariah without any kids, without any responsibility of having somebody to wake me up. I had to mourn being able to do what I want when I wanted. I had to mourn just going to the grocery store, not just because I have to wear a mask now, but because it requires an hour of extra time to get the kids out the house. I wanted to mourn my space, my time. And that's going to be a whole different episode, and I'm going to go into how I really, overcame that. But I wanted you to hear that in the midst of that, I still had to fight for my goals. I still had to fight for my dreams. Even when I was in a funk, I had to realize, okay, this is a hard season right now. It's a hard moment. But am I going to continue to fight, or am I just going to go lay in bed? These are the things that I want you to think about. So, my friends, I really want you to take this exercise. Take a moment, really reflect on who you were, your wildest dreams that you thought of, who your parents believed you could be. Write it down on one sheet of paper. Write it down on the other, who you are today. Figure out where the misalignment is, and then figure out how you can go after your wildest dreams. How you can then allow your kids to be proud of you because they know that you're going after your dreams every single day. Think back to that 10-year-old you, that 15-year-old you, that 8-year-old you who believed that anything was possible. I'm sitting here looking at this toy box and it says, dream big. Dream big. Just because you're not 8, 10, 15 does not mean you stop dreaming. Just because you're a mom or a dad does not mean you can't go after your goals. So I'm asking you and I'm telling you right now, do this exercise. And if you do this exercise and come out on the other side with an amazing mindset and belief that you can achieve, I promise you tomorrow or the next day and the next day, you will wake up a different person. You will wake up with a fire in your belly that will fuel you to grow and achieve anything in this life that you thought possible. So guys, I love you. I hope that of course you hear Bianca, quarantine life, right? I want you to know that you are amazing, that you are loved, you are needed. And this is real life, folks, in my home, no fancy studio, just coming at you guys, just sharing with you my life and how I've overcome in such hard seasons and how I plan to help you in your season to overcome the hard that you are facing and to know that you are still capable. So guys, remember this, above everything, your life matters. What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of the Your Life Matters podcast. I'm so grateful that you're here. I just ask that you share this episode with somebody. I ask you to just share it and give it to somebody who could potentially need to hear this message. I really am on a mission to help hundreds of thousands of people to believe that their mess is their message and that their story really does matter and that above all, their life matters. I'm so grateful that you're here. I want you to share this episode. And then on top of that, if you could please leave a rating or a review or both. Let me know what speaks to you. Let me know what you need to hear. Let me know what you've connected with, because that's going to be the best way that I can make sure that I'm giving you guys exactly what you need. I love you guys with all my heart. I'm so grateful for you, and I want you to know the difference and the impact you guys make in my life. I love seeing your messages. I love seeing when you guys private message me or screenshot it and share it on Instagram or Facebook, because it lets me know that this podcast is doing exactly what it was meant to do. And it's to make sure that there's an impact being made and to help remind you and everyone else that your life